Good morning, good morning, good morning. Shakes Creations again. It is now 6:56 a.m. I am on fire, boiling. But, boys and girls, I just had a beautiful shower at 6 a.m. on the dot. I said, let me see if I can get some water this morning, some hot water. The water was boiling. What? I jumped in the shower. I kid you not. I am. Oh, that was such a nice shower. I took all of the baking soda, put it on my rag, bubble up that bubbly body wash, and scrub up. I shaved my head. Oh my goodness, girl, feeling real beautiful this morning. But I feel a lot better. Although I just finished crying, I'm sick of this damn stuff I'm dealing with. But it is life. Sometimes we have to just accept the process. You understand? But this morning, one of the first posts I read was this woman that said she was going through financial hardship, and she said she could not allow one bill to hit her account, and she didn't have the money, and some other stuff. So she took her paycheck and budgeted it out and did bill pay with auto pay for every pay period that each bill would get. And she did that for a number of months, and then at some point she was closing one of the accounts, and they asked her where did she want her check to go to. And because she had completely forgot about what she was doing, and also she put on some of the accounts $20 extra. This woman got a check for one of those accounts for $1,600 that she had put extra. And I am like so happy to read that, because that is what I tell people to do all the time. When you have a bill that you know is recurring, throw something extra on it. I remember the time when I had my landlord uh, looked out the office and said, he called me, and I gave him my attention, and he said, you don't owe rent next month, right? And I'm like, huh? And it just so happens that was my daughter's birthday month, and I really and truly was so happy because I gave her a pool party, just a neighborhood party, but I didn't have to worry about borrowing money from somewhere that I didn't have, and I don't like being that person. Pay Peter, Paul, I don't like being that person. But I gotta get a rag, boys and girls. Woo! Oh no, 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 no. Woo! Mm. Guess what I did, everybody? Mm. Uh, woo. I went to start the washing machine and did not put the clothes in the washing machine. Oh my goodness. Woo. One of the worst things to do is sweat like this after coming out the shower. But I'm gonna let that. I'm trying to deal with that, but I did put a little water on my rag. So, oh Lord have mercy. The process that we have to go through living in this world with these. But I kid you not, I was so happy to see when that lady said that. There was a time or two I got a check from this company, a check from this company. I said, oh, and it just happens for me that it has always arrived when I actually needed it. So this morning I checked my account. How I had a little blessing in there, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. But I just sent a little cushion to the light company because your girl is going to need the electricity in the summer. There is no way I'm living without air conditioner. It is a definite need up in this piece here. So I said it, and then I have enough to ship out one shirt, and I'm not sure if I have any shirts coming today. I hope I do, but I want to ship Tina a shirt, so I'm leaving that uh, small blessing for her her shirt. I woke up this morning and I saw a vision of my ex sitting on the couch crying, not saying any words, and I felt that he no longer trusted me, and I felt that he was afraid of me. And at that moment, I realized that this fight for me is over. It's absolutely over. But Last night I had a really good conversation with my mother. And I told my mother exactly how I feel and everything I've been dealing with in my head and everything and what I'm struggling not to do to myself. And I realized that I have to walk away from a lot of people, but the number one person is my daughter. I can no longer, and I mean this in kindness, and I'm not sure if I'm going to text my daughter or not, but I have asked her a number of times in kindness and in love to just let us part ways. And I have come to terms with there are well, basically, my daughter's drinking habit. Um, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. And it has nothing to do with me judging her. My father died an alcoholic and a drug addict, and I have issues in my head that I will never heal from with that. And watching my daughter uh, live a great life compared to where she was, I kid you not. When I say God stepped in and provided, and to watch that, I can't do. I can no longer, and she doesn't know what my internal system feels. And my doctor said I need to speak to her, but she doesn't allow me to. And when I try to, she does the defense, but the defense is the problem. So in kindness, I have to part ways. But I had to explain to my mother because there are times that people say they can never part from their children, this, and this, and I am happy for you. But I tell you one thing, anytime it gets to the point where I could put my hands on my child and I could spend 25 to life to do it, we have to part ways. My daughter gets angry, and the words that come out of her mouth towards me that cut me the most are when she say, you never do anything for me. If that was true, I would be able to deal with it, but because it's not true, it's a lie, and I can't deal when people lie on me. So, and one of the things, I need to block this person. I don't even want to I don't even want to be in. Let me see. I've been blocking. I just can't deal. I don't want any conversation. I don't want anything. I just need to block. I am sick and tired of feeling where I need to justify that I'm not feeling well, and whatever the case may be, and the ding ding ding, and I can't deal with it. But I can't heal if I'm dealing with stuff that comes my way that it's like I'm borrowing somebody else's stuff and I can't deal with it. And one thing I cannot deal with is alcoholics and drug addicts. I can't do it because it is a constant reminder of what my father chose over his family. So I'm not dealing with it. And I would not deal with a person in my manhood, love life, or anything that chose the bottle or the dealer. I can't do it. And then I had to reason some things out and I had to pray about it and everything. And I have no issues. I have none of those, well, I'm going to cry myself to sleep and I feel sorry. I feel none of that. I feel absolutely none of that, because the bottom line is there was a transaction that happened in front of me that I would never do in front of my mother. And that basically lets me see the foundation of where she sees me as a mother and a friend. And I already told her in kindness, you only get one, a mother, and that's it, because I am not going to be your friend. I said, if you don't understand the dynamics, look at some of your friends' connections with their parents and ask yourself, if I was that way out in those streets, would you feel good about me? And the answer is absolutely no. Absolutely no. So I'm not dealing with it. And with that said, I have to keep forgetting when I wash my hands, put some type of moisture on them. But I feel I took my book down this morning, the Bishop's Secret. I took the book down because I explained to my mother that I actually wanted to go to court. I wanted to go to court, and I know what going to court would have cost him. And I was all for it because I asked him to say sorry. But he ended up saying sorry. And whether I got the sorry when I needed it or not, the bottom line is I got the sorry that I needed. So it doesn't matter that it wasn't when I asked for it, even though I still know. But I told my mother this morning, I messaged her right there and let her know to message him, but that if I hear anyone accuse me of telling a lie, I'm going to put my book back up, and that's it. But other than that, I took it down, and I don't want to sit in court against someone that I love. I can't do that. And I kid you not, I had to actually tell my mother how the dynamics were in here, that all of what I'm hearing out there was not up in here. So what when I lost my mind and all that other stuff, you have not, you have to understand. So I said I'm not going to bother with it because I absolutely know two sides of a person, and there's no way I could sit in a courtroom against someone that I know that's helped me transform and get into a better state of mind. So I can't do it. So even though I know that there's no chance we'll see each other or whatever, I will make it my point of duty. If I even think he's across the street, I'm gonna run the other way. And when I say run, I mean run, because I can't see someone that I can't walk up to and hug, because whatever feelings that I know without a shadow of a doubt, I have zero regrets, and that's because that's something that I know would kill me. But I could imagine right now he has at least one. And I know crossing me was a nightmare that he did not expect. And I absolutely know that when I told him that he was shit shocked that I had all of this awareness and knowledge and understanding, there is no way he would ever be able to face me. The shame and the disgrace alone, and I wish like hell I didn't do it, but I had to, because a lot of people don't realize that my issue was not mainly what happened to me. My issue mainly happened to other people. But yesterday I sat on Facebook and I realized that someone had called out someone's name, and when they called out the name, they didn't mean to call it out. It just fell out. And then yesterday, I don't know how, but I'm looking on my phone and I see a name pop up on one of my pictures. And then I'm like, and then I go looking and all, like, I'm an investigator. And then I'm like, okay, so now I understand. I see a whole big picture because I recall at least 3 people calling out someone's name, so I'm like, okay, so I left it, and I don't want to play in the sandbox. I'm not working as hard as I am to build Shay's Creations to play in the sandbox. That's not me. Absolutely not. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. Mm-mm. Mm, 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 mm. But I feel good. One of the blessings that I hold on to is choices and options. I'm not fighting somebody that I love. Absolutely not. I can't do it. Mm-mm. Not even if I could have gotten the one thing that I know would have helped me. I can't chase money that I can't sleep good about earning. I don't care who does not like it. I don't want money bad enough to not feel comfortable sleeping having it. Absolutely not. My sleep means a lot to me. When I get in my bed, look up at my roof, I can't do it. That's why I can't sit in a corner and do what I know I could do if I needed money bad enough. That's why I can't lay down in my bed and take money in transactions. I could make a lot of money, baby, if I sold some of this stuff that, if I laid in my bed all day and just had my door open up, I could make a lot of money. But I can't sleep with that kind of. I can't do that. Mm-mm. I was created to use my mind and my hands to build my empire. But I kid you not, I don't know how on earth. I have no idea. I keep seeing me in this beautiful kitchen, and I don't know. I can see it's white, and I can't see all the details, but I know it's a massive kitchen, and I feel me in it. I have seen me in it, and I don't know because I don't want no. I don't want a house. Do not want a house. So it must have been a condo on the top floor with a massive roof, like the suite or whatever you call that. Because I sure as hell don't want a house. Nope. Nope. Mm. 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 Woo. Mm. Garlic, parsley. Oh, this piece is good. Boys and girls, I've been looking everywhere for a bottle of pills, and it's in my bathroom. I'm like, yeah, because I sure as hell don't have the money to buy the next order, and I don't want to use a firm for anything right now other than building my shirts. That's it, and I still can't use it right now unless I get Rakutan at 15%. Has to be 15% for me to get the gravy. That's the only way. Absolutely not. But this peppermint tea, oh, it is hitting the spot. I took an enzyme this morning, and I'm having peppermint tea. I don't actually need both, but this is a want for me right now. And I said to myself, if I get 5 minutes to do anything today, I'm going to love myself. That's it. Love myself. But you know what happened? I was sitting here this morning, and before 6 a.m. because 6 a.m. I was in that shower. But I was sitting here, and something came over me, and I had just finished wiping my face, drying up my tears because I saw myself somewhere that I didn't want to be, and I realized that everything has a domino effect. So you could do this with this intention, and then you end up with this because you did this, not knowing that it was gonna. And I said, there's always a consequence. I may not see the consequence, I may not know the consequence, but I know it's there. I always know karma comes to everyone. Everyone. And my issue is I don't want karma to come on my loved one because karma sometimes passes you and goes to the one you love the most in the world. And there is no amount of love that I could have in this world that I have for my child. I absolutely, I think I love my daughter too much. That's why at one time I enabled her instead of teaching her to grow. And now what I see that I have taught her, I need to let my baby fly, honey. Those wings need to, because she's grinding out there, boys and girls. Right now, what her thing is, her kindness is out there in the world, and I am not going to hinder that. So, and sometimes you have to stop and take accountability. And I need to take accountability before the danger comes in. That way, I'm living my truth of being preventive before I need a band aid for something that I could have not needed a band aid for. And with that comes the blessing that I prayed for with God when I asked for patience. And I kid you not, I am a very patient person, but I have come to a point of overextension. I believe I have been mishandled so many times that my boom, just boom. And I was looking at, if I did not control some of this, I could have easily either been under 6 feet or 25 to life, and I saw it all. So the blessing for me is that I use my medical providers for what they are there for, to help me. And when I went and I said, I'm feeling a certain way, and is this someone you love? Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, but I'm thankful in ways you have no idea. But I'm more thankful for at this moment for my YouTube channel. This is why I always say to people, if you have any type of mental health illness, build a YouTube channel. Even if you never earn from it, it will help you in so many ways. I was never able to watch my videos. Now, I haven't watched one of my videos in a very long time, but I needed to see if I said something that I didn't want to say. Sometimes this trap get to moving, but talkativeness is a part of my mental health psychosis. That's another reason why I love my YouTube channel, because I get to be me and I accept me for who I am. And I have my tribe, baby. But I needed to know if I said something that I didn't want to say, so I could delete the video. And I didn't say it. And if I did say it, I couldn't find the video. But I am thankful. But this morning I was sitting here and I wasn't focused on anything. I hadn't read anything. And then I had a boost of love come over myself. A boost of love. And I can't really describe the love other than to say loving myself as God brought me into this world, with nothing other than me. And it made me happy. And then I realized what made me think of what had come over me, and that is me being in these groups with these men. Because some of these men, if you listen to what they have to say, it is absolutely the truth. Because there were a few men that literally said, they would prefer that their woman didn't have on the eyelashes, the hair, and stuff that is not what attracts them. They would really like to see the person in their natural state. But I kid you not, yesterday I was sitting here, and I don't want to get emotional, but I'm feeling that way. And these men, the comments and the posts they were making about the people that are in their homes, who they're married to, and all of these things, what they wish they had. I said to one man yesterday, this post right here confirms to me that there is a very sad person in society. Because if this is how men really feel, then there was nothing up in here besides love. And I am so proud of myself for being the type of woman that I am, that would love up and take care of and see that my sweetie needs this and this before he has to ask for it. And that is what a lot of these men said, that they have to ask for just a bare minimum. And there was no way under any circumstances that this person had to ask for the bare minimum. No, baby. I was showering. But there was this one man who said codependency and smothering. I could never even have been in that either, because you would not believe the amount of times that I went into my room and closed the door. Peace and tranquility, space and time to whatever. I believe every man needs their own space. Every woman needs their own space. That's why I said if I was to get married, I would not live with my husband. And if I had to coexist under the same roof, there would have to be a space that would be designated for whoever wanted to go in that space and close the door and just have some me time. But this one person made a comment yesterday. I don't know why. I hope y'all heard that, because Coral did. She's laughing at me right now. Anyway, this man made a statement that his wife will financially have nothing if he passes away, and he wanted to figure out how to cushion her fall. And I was so proud to read that, and the fact that his face was up there too, made a difference, because some of these people are not hiding behind, anonymous and all this other stuff, so it makes you feel like you're dealing with a real person. But he was concerned about leaving her cushion. And this is why I say all the time, if I had nothing and I had somebody attached to me, I would give up a whole lot to make sure that they at least had life insurance on me. Now, there is a life insurance that you get basically nothing if you outlive the insurance. I'm not talking about that one. And I will be looking further into the exact one I'm speaking of so that I can match what I'm saying to what would be beneficial to someone else. But there is one that if you pass and you did not outlive it, your family would be okay. But I believe the bare minimum is that a person should have life insurance on each other. And I was so happy because I saw in some judge shows. Now I'm not into judge shows, those type of shows. Don't. But there's a time or two it might have popped up on my screen and I watched it. Well, some of these judges now are requiring that people put life insurance on each other. And I think that is absolutely a requirement. Now, there are times that we can't do certain things, and I understand that. And I'm not that type of person to be that dumb in the head where I don't understand life. I'm living right now on nothing. But what I am saying is that some of these things that we are picking up that we absolutely can forego to protect someone that we love, that is called a priority. And that's the only thing it is. So if your priorities are to cushion this person's fall, you're going to move and shake to make it happen. That's it. So there is no debate on whether I have it, I don't have it right now because of one thing, but I will be doing everything in my power to make sure that if there's a man attached to me, he's paying for life insurance on me. I'm not paying for life insurance on me for him to have cushion off my fall. That will be his requirement for himself. He doesn't have to. And then another thing I read in the post was that a lot of women want men to do this, the hair, the lashes, this, and then turn around. They have to ask for this. And I'm sitting here like, wow. I absolutely love the fact that I can sit here and say I did so many things that was good, but I'm not going to allow myself to feel as if I wasn't enough. There comes a time when people want something and they don't know how to control what they want, and that's what they lead with, and that's what they have to. But I choose to accept a person for who they are, and if there's any way I can help them control whatever it is they have to control, I'd rather join forces with them and help them. But I never got a conversation about what the issue is, and I knew what the issue was. I began to feel like property, like a piece of property, so say a mattress. So there is a dynamic where your mental will go, especially if that's not what you're looking for. So, and my doctor told me that I was basically looking for companionship, and it is the truth. So it is what it is. But today is going to be a very good day. I don't think I can sit in this room again today because it is extremely hot. That's why yesterday I couldn't make a day of it in here. But I am watching this series on Netflix, no, Tubi, and the mother and father are drug dealers. And I thought the son did not know because the son was seeming like he didn't know, and then the mother and father got arrested, and then when they found out who one of the witnesses were that was going to testify, the son is a lawyer. He went to meet with them. I thought they were just going to do some paperwork. He took the man in the parking lot and just took him to Forever Land. So I'm like, oh, I have got to watch this because you know when they say it starts from the mama and the papa and the sister and the puppy and the cat? This is gonna be good. And I kid you not, I really don't like Tubi. A lot of what is on Tubi because I hate hearing some of the hood rat language. Oh, it just drives me crazy. That nigga and all that. I'm sorry I even said the word. I hope somebody teach me how to take that out of my. But I hate to hear how they use that, like saying good morning. That is so. Um. mm. I was watching someone. I was on Facebook yesterday, someone that I absolutely care deeply about. I went to show love on it, and when I saw the certain details, I'm like, but someone could say the same thing about me that, I may say a word or what. So I do understand it is a hustle and grind. We all have to share this world together. So I'm just saying I don't really care for Tubi for some of the language, but this last few weeks. Tubi has been showing up for your girl because it's distracting my mind. I just can't really watch TV here and focus on here. And I'm not trying to focus on here other than being in groups where I can offer something that I know of some type of help. So I did join a few groups, and one of them is housing. So some of the people didn't know how to do this, and I'm, do this or whatever. But it is what it is. Uh oh. See this damn Vaseline about to drop my cup. Mm. But I am going to say, if you have someone that you know of that is always saying yes, check in and just make sure they're okay. Because I literally almost hurt my property in my home because I almost picked up my weight off the floor and bust my TV out. I was so angry. Now, there was a time that I bust my TV out. I broke my computer. I picked my computer up, and matter of fact, it was in this room. I picked my computer up, I pow, 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 and I pick it up, bow, and pick it up, bow, pick it up, bow. I took my cell phone, went to the front door, bow, bow, picked it up, bow, picked it up, and bow. Went in my bedroom, picked up my TV, and pow. Everything I demolished was mine, and I had to rebuy it all. But it was due to people, asking and asking and asking, knowing I was going to say yes. And now I'm working on saying no. But yesterday, my mother called me, and we were talking, and I was already I was sleeping. First of all, I was sleeping, and then I woke up, and then during the conversation, she said she needed to ask me if I could do a favor for her, and I guess she was able to hear something in my voice, and then she changed her mind, and then I explained to her something that I'm really dealing with, and it is the fact that someone has owed me money for over 8 years, and now I'm hearing I'm going to get the money this month. But this month, I'm clearly understanding that obviously they're waiting on taxes. But this was my bill money. What happened 8 years ago? And my mind is not on the fact of the promise that I'm getting it this month. I don't give a damn about giving it to me this month. What about all the fees? What about the fact that I was supposed to get? What about the fact that I took you on your word? This is my issue. It has nothing to do with the promise because I already paid 184 of it. What about your promise? What about your word? What about what you said? I took you at your word, and this is why I have a problem with myself, because I have to accept people for what they show me. So now I don't want to help anyone else. I don't want anyone to ask me to do shit. If they do, I want to turn around and tell them some words that I normally wouldn't tell them. I feel like making a shirt to say BITCH, don't ask me for, but that's not going to happen. I'm not going to let that change who I am. Not, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I saw another video. This woman was talking, and she was saying that in her neighborhood, she does this, she does this, she does this, but no one, when she needed help, no one helped her in her community. And I kid you not, I understood, truly understood. I live in a building where I leave greeting cards, I leave bracelets, I leave earrings everywhere. My face is on it, greeting card thing on my front door, everything. And when I think a couple of days after Thanksgiving, when someone knocked on my door and she said, I feel so bad. And I'm like, why? I have never offered you a meal. And I felt so good because God knows I had already thought in it myself once or twice. There was a family on this floor, and I can't do that. Absolutely not. See, I made a mistake. I know somebody caught the mistake, but I am going to finish it in another video where I can cushion somebody else's fall. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. I made a big mistake, and if you know the mistake, don't say it. I will finish, but in another video where I can clean up what I just made a mistake. Boys and girls, I'm sitting here soaking wet. I did my 35 minutes. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. This girl needs some water.